वेलकम बैक वंस अगेन। और अब हमें बात करनी है इमरान एक ऐसे टॉपिक की जो कि बड़ा ज़रूरी है और आलमी सतह पर अगर हम बात करें तो बहुत अहमियत इख्तियार कर चुका है, और वो क्या है
जी? वो है क़यादत का नया तस्वुर, यानी कि लीडरशिप रीडिफाइंड, और उसमें ख़वातीन का क्या किरदार है।
ख़वातीन इस वक्त दुनिया की शक्ल जो है वो बदल रही हैं, नो डाउट अबाउट इट। ख़वातीन लीडर्स जो हैं दुनिया भर में मुख्तलिफ शोबों में ज़बरदस्त किरदार अदा कर रही हैं और अपनी हमदर्दी, ताउन और दीगर सलाहियतों से लीडरशिप को एक नए रंग में पेश कर रही हैं। और ये बहुत ज़रूरी भी है इमरान, क्योंकि हमें लीडरशिप का जो रोल है उसके अंदर मोस्टली मेल्स नज़र आते हैं, लेकिन अब ख़वातीन जब आगे आ रही हैं तो उसके अंदर हमें एम्पैथी भी नज़र आती है। जब वो लीड करती हैं तो एम्पैथी के साथ लीड करती है। इस हवाले से जल्द ही लीडरशिप रीडिफाइन के टाइटल से एक कॉन्फ्रेंस मुनक्किद होने जा रही है, जिसमें मुख्तलिफ ममालिक से अहम ख़वातीन लीडर्स अपनी कहानियाँ भी शेयर करेंगी और आइंदा नस्लों को क़यादत के लिए आगे बढ़ने का हौसला देंगी। इसी बारे में हमने आज बात
करनी। और एक्चुअली तो हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर बहुत से ख़वातीन ने बतौर प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्पल खुद को प्रूव किया है। सोसाइटी ने बहुत ज़्यादा कोई मौके नहीं दिए, लेकिन उन्होंने प्रूव किया और फिर वो मौके अपने लिए पैदा किए और बहुत सारे नए आने वालों के लिए मौके का बाइस बनी। सबकी एक अपनी ज़बरदस्त किस्म की कहानी है। खैर, इस वक्त हमारे साथ बकिंघमशायर यूनिवर्सिटी में हेड ऑफ स्कूल सारा विलियम्स मौजूद होंगे, जिनसे हम बात करेंगे। इनफैक्ट मौजूद हैं स्टूडियोज़ के अंदर। एक तो उनका पब्लिक रिलेशंस के अंदर पहले तजर्बा है, आप बतौर एजुकेशनिस्ट काम कर रही हैं और उनके क्या गोल्स हैं और वो इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर अपना क्या इनपुट देंगी। वील हैव दिस डिस्कशन विद सारा। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर बीइंग विद अस इन एडवांस। बिफोर दिस में डॉक्टर अयूब को इंट्रोड्यूस करवाऊँ। हमारे साथ डॉक्टर अयूब भी मौजूद हैं। डॉक्टर अयूब जोरिया, जो न सिर्फ अपने हवाले से अपनी एजुकेशन को लेकर बहुत इंस्पायरिंग है, बल्कि बतौर एंटरप्रेन्योर, आई मीन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के ऊपर इनका बहुत ज़्यादा काम है।
सीनियर लेक्चरर
हैं और पार्टनरशिप के हवाले से, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के हवाले से और लीडरशिप गोल्स के हवाले से भी बड़ा एक्सपीरियंस है इनका। बाकी खुद बताएंगे, तो हम इन दोनों मुअज़्ज़ज़ मेहमानों से बात करेंगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अ वेरी वार्म एंड फॉर्मल वेलकम टू बोथ ऑफ यू। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thanks very much.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
So how's your trip going? First of all, this is my first generic question from any guest who joins us. How's your trip going in Islamabad in Pakistan? Is it for the first time you're here?
It's our first time in Islamabad and it's going really well. Everybody has been so hospitable, so friendly, and we're just having the best time.
That's really
Sarah,
great.
tell us about yourself. First of all,
well, I'm an educationalist. I work as the Dean of the School of Business and Law at Buckinghamshire University. But before that, I worked in public relations for 10 years in the United Kingdom and became very interested in the stories of women working in PR. It's a very female-dominated industry, but females are not represented in the leadership as much as males are represented in the leadership. So the idea for the book came from
so
why you understood that part.
To all the viewers that she has already also written a book that is in my hand right now. It's women's work in public relations. So I would like ma'am to tell about the book as well. So if you could explain the book a bit, like what is it about and what does it consist of? Yeah, let me show it to the people on the camera. Yeah,
thank you.
There it is.
Yeah, the book's literally about the hidden lives of women who work in public relations. We, my co-author and I, were really interested in why lots of books on public relations talk about how to do it, why to do it, but they don't talk about the people who do it. And we were interested in telling the stories of women who work in public relations, and that's how the book came about.
So I hope it will really help people to grow better in their relevant work fields and industries. So Dr. Ayoub, first of all, how's your visit going? He just told us this. He's been to the mountains and he was very happy to see Islamabad. So first of all, how's your experience being here in Pakistan?
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Imran, for having us here today, and thanks Aisha as well. It's been brilliant. It's been amazing. Like, we've been to a few places, and I told you earlier backstage that we went hiking and we looked at the landscapes. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys are very lucky.
So thank you very much. First of all, we'd like to know about your profile, your educational career, and now the field that you're working in. Please tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I'm a senior lecturer in business and partnerships, and my field of research is to do with entrepreneurship and innovation, and the main focus is on Middle East and North Africa region.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Doctor, tell us about the skill gap do you see in Pakistan, and how can we overcome this skill gap?
That's a really good question, actually. I've been discussing with colleagues from the International Center of Excellence earlier this week, and I've seen a really good project that's been led nowadays. It's called an incubation center.
Okay.
And they are targeting this skill gap that you just asked about.
Okay.
So basically what they do is they provide trainings to young entrepreneurs, young students, which enables them to work and earn whilst they're studying, which obviously relieves the burden on the parents, so they don't have to
and
think about
particularly
paying
the kind of economic challenges Pakistani youth has, I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, so it relieves the burden on the parents from paying the tuition, but it also enables the students to focus more on being creative, being imaginative, and not worry much about paying a tuition fee.
Right. So there was a very important point, Sarah, that you told that women has a key role in public relationing, but they hardly get a leadership role.
Yes.
Though we have some good examples in Pakistan where women have been the leaders. I mean, we have the Prime Minister, we have the
Yes.
National Assembly Speaker, we have the good media entrepreneurs. We're sitting in at the channel right now.
Yes.
So we have good examples, but not as much as they're supposed to be. You know, having one of the biggest countries in the world, there should be more such examples. So what's your work on that, and what challenges actually you feel that they exist, and how can we overcome that?
I think for a start, you've got some great leaders here. Sultana Siddiqui, for instance, who I'm going to be sharing a stage with
Great example.
on Thursday, is a fantastic example.
Yeah.
And you've got other really good examples across the whole of Pakistan. I think telling their stories is one way to inspire young women to go into careers and to develop careers. I think the role of men is really important as well, because men enable women to be successful, and having supportive families and supportive home lives is really crucial to that. But I think telling stories, which is something that I love to do, and highlighting women's stories is so paramount, which is why I'm really delighted to be speaking at the conference in Karachi at Governor House on Thursday.
That's great.
Before coming to the conference, I want to ask you about this book. Is it only for women or male as well?
I think it should be more for the men. They should read it better,
I
so
want
to understand.
I think the men need to understand the stories.
Yes.
But I mean, it's primarily, well, it's solely telling women's stories from across the world. So there's stories from Spain, from Turkey, from Brazil. And what we're hoping for the next edition is that we can tell more stories from Pakistan.
So Sarah, this is very interesting, because whenever we talk about women in East, like Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, we feel that women has different kind of, or somehow similar kind of challenges in such Eastern societies. Since you teach people in like West, and you have studied over there, you belong to the West.
Yes.
Do the women at West, like in developed countries, face the same kind of problems being the leaders, or their story can their stories help our women to understand the system better and to do better in their lives?
That's a really good question. I think the challenges are very similar, if not the same, really. You've got the challenge of managing a family with managing a career, and I think women the world over suffer with that challenge. I think the solutions to the challenges are very similar. As I say, supportive family, supportive environment really helps to lift women up. Sharing inspirational stories is another really key thing, I think, that women in the East can learn from women in the West, about how they've overcome some of the challenges to get to the top. Some industries are better than others at having female representation. So there's lots of industries in the UK where female representation is still very low. But then you look at education, and female representation is very high. So I think there's lots to be learnt from sharing stories, talking about things. It's how societies change, isn't it? We tell stories to one another.
Definitely.
And those stories lift people up.
Definitely, we can
Surely they
definitely
do.
learn from each other. Coming to the conference, what is it about, when it is going to happen, and what you are going to talk about?
Okay. I'm going to tell some stories from the book, but I'm also going to talk about women's leadership. And I'll be sharing the stage with some fantastic female leaders from across Pakistan. We've already mentioned Sultana Siddiqui, who will be sharing the stage with me. The conference is Thursday at 4 p.m. at Governor House and in Karachi. And we're going to be talking about all things women. We're going to be celebrating women's stories. We're going to be talking about how women have shaped the world, and how they continue to
I
shape
wish
the
we
world.
would have been there and could listen you live, but obviously we'll share the story through our news and we'll listen to the package. Dr. You have mentioned the role, in fact, Sarah has mentioned the role of males, to support the females.
Definitely.
We were just, we've just covered a story where we got to know that more than 50% students in an agriculture university, the prime agriculture university of Pakistan, has the female students. So are the entrepreneurship. I mean, since Amazon is here, since eBay and different different online platforms are here. There are many female entrepreneurs are coming. Girls want to work, they want to learn, they want to earn. So what potential you see actually in business side, if we discuss about the females, potential Pakistani females as you think, and youth in particular?
That is a great question. Thank you very much, Imran. I think female entrepreneurs in Pakistan have a huge potential to succeed only if they are resilient. So resilience is one of the traits that I teach my students to focus on, because women unfortunately have more challenges and more setbacks.
Exactly.
So if you're resilient, if you can challenge those setbacks, you will be the next leading generation
And how
of
to gain that
Pakistan.
resilience in yourself? I mean, if a girl is watching you right now, she wants to learn it. What are the key
Is it
points to
innate
gain
or
that resilience?
you can learn?
Perfect. So resilience is the trait. So that gets developed up over time, but it could be combined with what I mentioned earlier, which is the skill of continuous learning. So girls should empower themselves by learning continuously and making sure they get every single training that they can get, making sure they can get in touch maybe with centers like the International Center of Excellence, where those trainings are offered for free, and they can help them
Okay.
to like develop themselves
available online?
and challenge those setbacks. They need to be enrolled in the center.
Okay.
Yeah, and they will be able to get advantage of
All
those.
right, all right. Do you have a question at last? Anything that you like to add about the conference to the females who are watching you who might not be able to attend your live session, but they can watch you right now? Anything that you like to say, please?
I would just like to say that, you know, everybody has the ability to achieve. Everybody's got the ability to do great things, and you know, believe in yourself, believe in the women around you. Every day, act to lift somebody else up.
That's really great. It's such a great, it's such a pleasure to have you. Such a great field to
Thank
talk
you.
to the people like you who think positive.
The positive vibe
yeah,
we were
who
talking
convey
about.
positivity to the people.